JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 7th of November 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yep, one moment. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. So guys, now let's jump into the chart. No, not this one right there, Nikkei 225. There we go. So what's interesting here is that, yes, we had a decline on Friday. We had a move lower, but as you can see here, we managed to recover somewhat, and we managed to push back above this 200-day EMA. Now, we're still below this downside line, so which is taken from the high of the 17th of August. Now, if you're looking for some higher levels, you kind of need to wait until we get a nice clear break through this area, and then for that extra confirmation, maybe a push above last week's high could also do the trick here for a few more buyers. And the high is actually not here. I think it's this one right there. There we go. The 27,692 territory, approximately around there. So basically, if we do push through this downside line, yes, I'll start looking at the upside, but then I'm going to keep an eye on this barrier too, which is, a good potential resistance area. But if that gets cleared, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. So keep that in mind. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this 26,981 territory right there, and then we could go from there. Shanghai Composite, guys. So yeah, looking at this picture here, beautiful move. A beautiful continuation to the upside. Beautiful move we had here on Friday, but yeah, today we're seeing a further move up. Look, in terms of the further upside, as I said before, I said that if we break this downside line and we push above the 21-day EMA, then my next target is the area near this 3,100 level. Now, not exactly maybe that level, but just an area around that. So it doesn't always kind of hit perfectly the level. So well, you know it yourselves. But either way, guys, I mean, at the moment, yeah, I'm gonna aim for this, and then we'll take it from there. If it breaks through this straight away, through this 3,100 level straight away, then yes, I'll go further north. But at the moment, just I'm aiming for that, just keeping it quiet. ASX 200, so far so good. Look, I mean, I talked about this and I said that if we continue to trade above this upside line here, first of all, of course, I said that, look, if we fall back below the 200-day EMA, I'll aim for this 100-day EMA and this upside line. If it provides support, we could see a nice rebound. So far it's working. The only problem, of course, right now is this 200-day EMA. It's currently providing strong resistance. I would say, look, still this scenario is not off the table. We still could see further upside. But at this point, if you're not comfortable with right now like this, like I said, you can keep an eye. Let's say, for example, in this case, if you did pick up this in this instrument, this index somewhere around here near this 108 EMA, and now you're in this position, I would say, you know, you could for example close your position if you want to enjoy the profit, and then wait until we get a push through the 200-day EMA, and then yeah, continue aiming for the upside. Because look, we could see this one right now getting a hold up here, and it is getting a hold up here. Maybe a bit of a retracement could be possible. And then, you know, you could basically, you know, wait maybe for another rebound from this upside line, so on and so on. So again, like I said, in this case, if you, for example, see that it doesn't really go straight away, let's say where you want it to go, yes, it could go later. But if you're not, let's say you want to enjoy your profits, you can take your profits here and then just kind of, you know, wait for maybe a breakout above this 208 EMA and then go further north, because again, it might maybe correct a little bit back down here, you know, stay somewhere in this area in between the 200 and the 100-day EMAs. So yeah, it's, you know, you always need to kind of try to take profits if you can. To be honest, it just feels better. So even if you take like a little profit, just, you know, your coffee money, if you can call it that way, you know, if you're trading like that, so it's still good, it's still great. It's that extra free cup of coffee for you guys if you drink coffee, of course. But anyway, long story short, you understood my position here. Again, like I said, if you think that, you know, hey, maybe it's gonna go, maybe it's not gonna go, it might go, yes, but if you're not really, you know, if you're in that, if you are worried a little bit about the profits, you can take them. Always take them, guys. If you start worrying, just take them. Just wait for another, you know, entry point, and you know, you can easily continue moving to the upside here. But again, you know, at this point right now, I would like I said, I would keep an eye on this 208 EMA. The German index DAX. There we go. So beautiful push to the upside on Friday, and look at this, we cleared the 13,444 territory, and we have stayed above it. Now the question is right now for me, what's happening on the cash index? And it's currently sitting, well, actually at the same area, almost actually slightly below. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that it's, like, you know, at the end here. But one thing for sure, what's really annoying is the fact that look, we had that, you know, decline initially. We tested the this downside line, and then it moved back up. Okay, on one hand, it's annoying because in a way, whoever was long here, for example, they're right, they were right overall, but we had that little correction, so this is where probably the little panic moment kicked in. However, if you remember, again, I'll repeat myself, I kept on talking about these. Whenever we break a trend line, the downside or the upside one, in this case the downside one, we kind of come back and test it from above, and then it acts as a nice trampoline here, and we jump off of it and push back up. So at the moment I am leaning maybe a little bit more towards the upside. However, I don't really know, given the situation right now in the market. Maybe we're going into that Christmas rally right now. Maybe, you know, we will be heading towards some of these highs. But in that case, if, let's say, for example, you're not comfortable right now with this, look at this 200-day EMA. It acted as a really strong area of resistance, and we have not been above it since, well, since February of this year, guys. So it's almost a full year had passed, and we're now once again trying to test it. Look, back in June, in the beginning of June, we also tested it, and we reversed back to the downside. We are at a critical spot, so that's why I don't want to rush, let's say, you know, going higher from here, because maybe it's going to hit this 200-day EMA, or even worse, create a false breakout and then, you know, reverse back to the downside. So again, at the moment with this one, of course I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but probably if we get a nice good break above the 13,565 territory right here, if we clear that, if we push above it, then yes, I will, like I said, I will go further north, aiming for that 13,948 territory right here, marked by the highest point of August. For the downside, I would like to see maybe a drop somewhere below this territory, below the 12,936, 37, something like that. I get it, it's quite a lot to miss out here, but at this point I don't really have a clear level for the downside. But again, it's all going to depend how this is going to trade. Maybe we could look at some of these inside swing highs here, maybe, just maybe, and then again, depending on where the 100-day EMA, the 21-day EMA will be, so as well. So yeah, these factors which we'll have to consider. But at the moment, like I said, I don't really have a kind of a level for the downside. So I'm just gonna, if it's gonna go down, that's fine. I'll just wait for it to give me something clearer. Nasdaq 100. So this one had an interesting moment here on Friday. First of all, we opened higher. We kind of gapped up here, and then we sold off. Tested this area again, which I was talking about. It gave us a false breakout, and then we reversed back to the upside. So long story short, right now I would say if you're looking for some higher levels, then for me still the option here to go higher is going to be somewhere from around here. At the moment I'm just waiting and I'm just watching the price action here. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this 10,677 territory, somewhere around here, and then yeah, we could go to the downside. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, so if you remember that last week, I've drawn this broadening triangle pattern. I think it's time to get rid of it because it didn't really work out nice. But one thing that's was interesting, that we broke the steep upside line, which, to be honest, didn't also really work out well, because yes, we broke it, but still the index is somewhere. It's somewhere still around, oscillating around that 200-day EMA. So I think we can do it this way. Let me just reuse it, and I think I'm gonna reuse it in such a way. Let's see if this is gonna work or not. It's a tentative downside line, I would say. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very tentative. So that means that we can try to maybe use it somewhere around here. Can we do this? Does this look better? Ish. It does look better ish, but yeah, okay, let's put it this way. This one's a little bit more flat, so yeah, not as steep as the previous one, and it kind of has more touches, so I'll keep this one on the chart for now. This upside line can go, I think, yeah, just in general it can go. And in terms of the levels, at this moment I will stick to something right around here, this 31,727. The only problem that I have with this level right now is the fact that we are slightly below it. We have the 100 and the 21-day EMAs. That's my kind of little issue, that they could provide a bit of support. But okay, we'll reevaluate everything again if we do come to this point. For the upside, this is where we've reached. This was the high of Friday, 32,611. The cash index right now is sitting at around 32,350. So yeah, it's somewhere around the same 200-day EMA. As you can see, yep, it's continues to oscillate around that 200-day EMA. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then probably at least wait for a push above Friday's high. This way, then you can start aiming for the high of last week in general, which is around here, near the 33,072. But again, then yeah, we'll go slowly to the upside towards maybe this downside line. But at this point, these are my levels for the upside and the downside. But as long as it stays somewhere in here, if it continues to oscillate around the 200-day EMA, I am neutral. DXY, so yeah, beautiful decline on Friday. I mean, look, in general on Friday was a mess again. Talk about a week of high swings. First we had the Fed, and on Wednesday, then it was the Then it was the job numbers from the U.S. non-farm payrolls, which came out better than expected. But unfortunately the unemployment rate came out higher. But yeah, okay, that's still fine, still manageable. We saw those huge swings there. Look, in general, I would say one thing: this idea that I talked about is working. Look, I talked about this scenario. I said if we're going to come closer to this downside line, we could see maybe, if we fail to break through it, we could see a nice decline, and this is what happened. Great, I would say, great stuff. Now the question here: can we see a further decline here of this index? Now, personally, I would love to see that. However, again, the market doesn't always do what I like it to do, what I want it to do. But hey. Let's see how this is going to play out. At the moment, like I said, I'm going to continue aiming lower towards that 110 territory, or maybe even below that. Now gold. Okay, talk about a spectacular move here on gold on Friday. We broke these two tentative downside lines, and we've reached my target here. This the area between the 1682 and the 1684. So if you're looking for some higher levels, I need to break through that. At the moment, we are seeing a decline. We're seeing a correction lower. The question here is how far we will correct here. One thing, the way you can measure this, of course, is if you grab a Fibonacci here, and you can see we're approaching that 23.6. The 38.2 is somewhere near this 21-day EMA. So basically, we still have some room. Let's say if we, first of all, I'm aiming for that 23.6% retracement here in the Fibonacci. Then I want to see if this is going to break or not, and will it travel all the way to this 21-day EMA. Now, one thing that you could probably see is, for example, this one today closing in the red. We could see this one drifting lower, maybe somewhere here, and then retracing back to the upside, maybe staying somewhere near this 23.6%, and then tomorrow we could have ourselves a blast here, and maybe could see a push further north. But again, just a little bit of speculation. I'm trying to see if I can see into the future here. But hey, let's see if that's going to work out or not. But at the moment, like I said, I'm keeping an eye on that 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, which is roughly around that 1667 level. Then after that, 1657 territory. That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on if it does drop below the 1667. WTI oil, beautiful push. Okay, everything's working out. So yeah, I talked about this last week a lot, and I said to you that look, if we do break this barrier right here, if we push above that psychological 90 level, then certainly yes, I will go further. We'll go further north, and I said to you that I will aim for the 100 and the 200-day EMAs first. Although ideally my target is around here, near this 93.62 approximately. We've reached the two EMAs. Now we're now we're seeing a bit of a drift back down. Again, similar story as with gold. Maybe this one could end here in the red today, but maybe tomorrow it could continue and push further to the upside. I would say this way, that as long as it stays above this territory, above that 90 zone, then yeah, I'll continue aiming higher. Ethereum. Ethereum is quite interesting here as well. So yeah, it's doing something for sure. It's definitely doing something, but something that I don't really want it to do. But hey, it's not for me to judge here. The only thing is, like I said, at the moment, look, I've just corrected this arrow here, and this is the scenario that I'm going to be keeping in mind. And even better, probably, let's see if this is going to work out or not. Just bear with me one moment. Where's my favorite parallel channel? There we go. So let's see if that's the case. If we do have this something around here. Because if this is the case, if this is a nice rising channel, then hey, this idea could come in nicely. So in other words, as long as we stay above the lower side of the this potential rising channel, then yes, I'll continue aiming to the upside. We could continue grinding to the upside actually, because I mean the moves could be slow. However, if we break the upper side straight away, this is where more buyers could join in, and we could start, you know, shifting this, well, not as big as this arrow, but at least towards the 200-day EMA, or maybe then towards the this 2015 zone right there, which is the highlighted one. But again, let's go slowly on this for now. Like I said, let's keep an eye on this. But if it starts falling below the lower side of this rising channel, then at the same time it could fall below all of these EMAs, the 100 and the sorry, not all, but just the 100 and the 21-day EMAs. AUD USD. So correcting lower. So of course, beautiful rebound. Look at this. I mean, I was talking about this. I was telling you guys, keep an eye on this upside line, because a break below this upside line, yeah, could open the door towards lower levels. But we rebounded and we pushed nicely to the upside. So again, similar story, because this pair is a commodity linked. AUD is a commodity-linked currency. It kind of moves in the same fashion as the as all the top other commodities like gold and like oil. So you might expect something similar if you're watching, for example, you know, the commodities, and you're thinking, hey, let's jump into pairs, into currencies. Then you know you might as well maybe you can try to utilize the similarities of AUD USD, you know, to some other commodities. So yeah, somebody might call it hedging, but hey, you'll be the judge, guys. You know yourselves better. You know what to do, but okay. You still need to approach everything very, very carefully, and you know, with a clear kind of risk parameter. NZD CHF. Oh, by the way, with AUD USD, look, at the moment I am just gonna observe this. I would like to aim for this downside line. Probably I'm gonna stick to that. If we continue to trade above the 21-day EMA, I'll aim for this downside line taken from the high of the 12th of August. NZD CHF. Just a quick update. Boom. There we go. Beautiful. We reached my target. My target was this downside line. I mean, this is just picture perfect. Look at the beautiful, very nice upwards moving tight channel, which we just respected all the boundaries. I mean, this is just fascinating. And we've reached this other downside line taken from the high of the 6th of April, and we got a hold up, and twice. We got a hold up twice here, and we drifted back down. Now the question here is, can we see a drift back down? Now, first of all, I'm going to get rid of this downside line a little bit in the way. And I'm going to look at some lower levels. Now, I will start looking at some lower levels on a break of this lower side of the rising channel, and also maybe on a break of this this 0.5820 territory, somewhere around here. If we do fall below it, then yes, I'll go nicely to the downside. With the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line. However, I think that we have done the move to the upside. Maybe we could see a bit of retracement. However, I'm not going to rush into anything. As long as we remain within the channel, it still could go higher. Simple as that. But at this point, we just need just a tiny breakout here of this downside line. USD JPY, this one's flat. I mean, this is annoying, and I don't know, even the NFPs couldn't move it much. So I think that this is gonna be a flat one for the month, because again, if I think the monthly chart here does speak out better. For example, look, I kept on talking about this 147.65 level, the highest point of 1998. We're currently near it. We're currently hugging it. So if you're and in general, after this big move here, maybe a bit of retracement here could be possible, but it seems that it doesn't want to give up yet. So again, I am leaving this one for now. I'm just gonna watch it, just gonna observe it. If it falls below the 145 territory right here, great. I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. If it pushes above the 148.85 level right here, great. I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside. But at this point, I'm just going to observe the price action. USD/CHF, this one's a little bit more interesting, as we can see. Look, I talked about this and I said that if we stay above this highlighted territory, I'll go further north. We didn't stay. We didn't stay above it, and we fell back down, and we fell actually also below my downside scenario. Look, I thought I was already quite on the very, very conservative side here in terms of the 0.9962 level, but hey, that was like a piece of cake on Friday. It cleared it, it dropped below it and stayed below it. Today we're still trying to kind of remain below this area. The question here is, can we see a further decline? Well, let's wait and see. As long as we stay below the 21-day and the 21-day EMA and the 0.9962 territory, I'll go further south. USD CAD. Now, looking at this picture, okay, this one's a mess, and I think what's needed here is something like this, because I think that it's time to get rid of it, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this could be seen as a possible head and shoulders pattern. Now, not a very attractive one, of course, but hey, you know, nothing's perfect in this life, but look, in general, we have fallen below that 1.35 territory. I spoke about those levels. I said that, hey, those 1.37, oh sorry, 1.38, 37, 36, 35, and 34. So basically, long story short, if we fall back again below the 1.35 territory, I'll continue aiming lower, and my next target is going to be the 1.34 territory. Not around here, but somewhere around here. And then slowly I'll go further. Excuse me, I'll go further south. Then, of course, the 1.33 territory is the one to watch, which is not far from that 100-day EMA. But again, at the moment, guys, yes, it seems like we could be forming something here of a head and shoulders pattern. But the fact that we have climbed back above the neckline, that's of course a little bit annoying. However, let's see if we can drop again below this territory. If we can, I'll go, like I said, I'll go towards that 34 territory, and then I'll go for the 33 territory, and so on and so on. With the upside, I would like to see a push above the 1.38 territory right here. I get it; it's a little bit way too far, maybe. But if you think that that's a little bit too far, then maybe you could keep an eye on the 21-day EMA. Just on that one, if we climb back above it, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of an up move. But again, still have your stop loss in place. GBP NZD, so this one is moving perfectly nicely. Now this is where a nice head and shoulders worked out perfectly. We're drifting lower, and look, my next target is the 1.9070 territory right here. Ideally, that's what I would like to aim for. Maybe we could see actually something like this happening, so don't be shocked or surprised. At the moment, yes, like I said, this is my target, the 1.9070. If you've missed this ride, guys, don't jump into it right now. I mean, it's a you might cause more damage to your account than, you know, you can find better options somewhere else. It's just that I'm picking up on this one just because, like I said, it worked out perfectly, but still aiming for this area. So let's see. Let's see if we can reach this. If we can reach it and we can break it, that's even better, because then I can start aiming for my highlighted territory right here. But again, slowly. GBP CHF, this one so far so good. Look, it's not a straightforward, it is a straightforward rising wedge pattern, but it wasn't like a big move, a big breakdown. No, I think this one will take time, but eventually it will work out even better. So at the moment, yes, I said to you before that I'm aiming for this 1.1209 territory right here. If we fall below this highlighted zone, well, so far so good. I am aiming still for that. Let's see where we can go here. GBP CAD. So GBP CAD, we also had a beautiful move. On this one, I would say mission accomplished. Great. We reached the 1.5317 level. I talked about this. I said that if we break through the lower side of the rising wedge here, then yes, I'll go towards this hurdle here. We've reached that. At the moment, I'm just gonna leave it, and I would say, if we fall below this 1.52 or 53.17, then yes, my next target is the 1.5117 territory right here. GBP USD, just a quick update. This one's a little bit annoying because, again, it's not doing much, but hey, one thing for sure, it's getting a hold up near this 1.1152. So if you're looking for some further declines, I would say wait for a drop below this area. You know, at this point, I'm just monitoring this. I don't like it. However, it could become quite interesting if we start, you know, pushing back out. And by the way, in terms of the upside, I think I need to adjust this. Wait a second. I think I need to adjust this. Yeah, let's see what we can do. First of all, we're marking this the high of the highest point of October, and probably we'll have to look at it from the very short-term perspective. So something like this, I think, could be okay. This is very tentative, guys. I mean, this is, it might not even work actually, but let's see. In terms of the level for the upside, probably you could start looking at this area, the 1.14. 22, something like around here, but even no, it's even then. Look, I'll say this way. I'm not gonna try to squeeze anything here right now. I'm just gonna say this way. At the moment, with the upside, I'm not sure. I have to say that it's very tricky. With the downside, it's a little bit. There's a little bit more clarity. A drop below the 1.1152 could attract more sellers, but with the upside here, let's wait and see. I'll give it a day or two to see what's happening here, and then I'll pick up on that one. Euro JPY very quickly. So yeah, we're pushing back above this area, back above the 21-day EMA. And look, I mean, I talked about this hurdle, this 144 zone. I said in order for me to go lower, I need a break, and I need to see the pair staying below it. Well, we had a test of it, reversed back to the upside. We can get rid of this upside line. I think we can draw it this way. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then certainly push a break of this downside line could be ideal. So yeah, for the downside, I said before 144. That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. At the moment, I'm just observing this one. And finally, EURUSD. So this one, yeah, has been on a roller coaster ride, as you can see. So beautiful. The only thing is a little bit annoying that we got that little false breakout. Well, not a false breakout. We had that drop here, but look, the NFPs helped this one to move back up. So we have to reevaluate things again. And I think one important thing is that we moved back above this downside line. We broke it again. So it's no longer valid. What to do now is probably and I think I'm gonna get to one of my favorite drawing tools right nowadays. It's this. Let's see if this is a rising channel or not. Okay, this is not maybe ideal, but still working. Okay, still working. So let's put it this way. Let's assume that this is a rising channel. This way, maybe it'll be a little bit easier to approach this. So if we break the lower side of the rising channel, then yes, I'll go to the downside. But if we remain within this formation, I will continue aiming higher. And look, if we push above this psychological 1 level again, I'll aim for the 100-day EMA first. I'll see if it's going to act as a nice resistance level again. If not, we might get a break here, and we could push to the upper side of this rising channel. So at the moment, guys, let's not rush into anything. Let's see if this can rebound maybe from that 21-day EMA and push back to this 100-day EMA. So guys, that's it for this session. I'll have to wrap it up here. I think I've went a little bit over my time, but yeah, thank you very much for sticking around, watching this one until the end. I really appreciate that. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 7 o'clock GMT time, as always. Thank you very much, guys, and bye-bye.